What is the worst effing feeling?
A few years ago I euthanized an elderly woman's elderly cat. She'd lost her only daughter to cancer and her husband the month before. I asked if there was anything I could do for her. She looked down at her cat in her arms, started to cry, and between sobs said, "I just want my family back." If you find something worse than sitting there powerless as an old woman's heart breaks over the sudden and permanent loss of all of her loved ones, you have my profound sympathy. Because that was awful.
So my wife is a realtor and one of her clients is an elderly man who had to sell and move into assisted living. He couldn't take his cat and we agreed to foster her until she found a forever home. I'll never forget the day we went to pick her up. He held onto her and kept whispering, "You saved my life," to her. Turns out he got her just before his wife passed and she was all he had. It's not the same because we can still give him updates and visits. But that moment of giving up your last family is a desolate loneliness I selfishly hope I go fist and avoid.
Losing hope. Specifically the hope that things will get better.
There was a headline on The Onion, "Man who thought he lost all hope loses additional hope he didn't even know he had." Luckily it only applied to mundane things in my life, but I feel that lol. How about a parent telling you they don't love you? When I was 12 my father got another woman pregnant, so decided to divorce my mother for other woman. On his last day coming by the house ever, he came into my room to say goodbye, and as he was leaving he told me, in pretty much these exact words, "I want you to know that I don't love you anymore and I am going to start a new family now. You probably won't ever see me again." He then walked out of my room. I ran out of my room screaming and crying, holding on to my dad's leg begging him not to leave as he dragged me down the hall, my mother screaming, crying, to have him basically shake me off, curse, and bolt out the door. Next time I saw him I was 17. It was a pretty messed up thing and it really hurt me as a kid. Edit, wow, never imagined the response. Just so you all know, my mother was amazing and fortunately she remarried within a few years and my stepfather has been an amazing person in my life. I am 38 years old now, so this was a while ago.
Trying hard to make friends but failing, honestly nothing worse than talking to yourself in a group of people.
This hit me harder than most other things here. I've spent my entire life just trying to find someone or some people to hang out with, but I'm just the awkward outcast all the time. I have no one to be with physically. Addendum. This wasn't supposed to blow up. There's too many comments to read, but the most I see say find a hobby or just talk to new people. I've been trying to find hobbies that'd be interesting and enjoyable to me for years. I've come up blank. And on the topic of just talking to new people, that is so effing hard. I get scared of talking to current online friends just because I feel like I might accidentally insult them somehow. Actually walking up to someone and saying, "Hi," is a monumental task I can only attempt once in a blue moon. Not to mention, due to my lack of aforementioned hobbies, I have basically no conversation topics, and so when I do say hello to someone I just kinda shrink away immediately. Not to mention I also cannot interact with groups of people very well, usually becoming a silent observer. I wish everyone a good day.
Feeling like a burden, so you never express yourself and end up feeling very, very alone.
This is the effing worst. When you just want to talk about what is bothering you but you don't want your poo to bring anyone else down. People will tell you to talk to a therapist, but you can't even bring yourself to be a burden to someone being paid for it.
Longing to feel one last hug or hear one last laugh from a loved one that is no longer here, and the subsequent pain that consumes your entire being. Feeling like all you want to do is sleep. 'Cause the dreams you have are better than reality. Getting news that your sibling has stage 4 melanoma. Our parents have both passed. I have come to the realization that sooner than I thought ever, I'm going to be the only person left in my immediate family. This effing sucks. Edit. Wow, thanks for all the positive thoughts and everything. I am 8 years younger than him, but we have always been very close. He is married with 1 kid. I am married and have 2 kids. But it's just different when you and your sibling have been through so much. You're a team. I super appreciate all the comments, guys. Thanks. Grief. Overwhelming, panic-inducing, heart-wrenching grief.
My son died at 18 years old, 4 years ago. He was an amazing son and a great person. I was in shock. I organized his entire funeral so that he was buried 4 days after his death. I wrote his obituary. I chose funeral-appropriate outfits for myself, his 2 half-brothers and sister. I chose the clothes he was buried in. Bought him new shoes. I bought him a belt from the skate shop he went to, and the young man joked, "Are you tired of him using shoelaces?" Because he did. Family and friends said I handled myself with grace. I was so elegant. I rushed everything because I was a ticking time bomb about to explode. I knew I could only hold my poo together for a few days before completely falling apart. My son deserved a good send-off, and I held it together. I came home from the internment and started to wail, like these primal, animal-like sounds of despair. I would bury my face in my pillow and wail. Before my son's death I had never made a sound like that. I barely remember the months after his death. It was like my heart had been physically ripped out of my body. The grief was so great I hurt physically, like the worst physical pain. I cry every single day. I miss him so much.
I know relationships are never 50-50, but loving someone more than they love you after spending years with them. Finding out from your friends that your significant other is sleeping around hurts bad when it's 100% unexpected. The heart sinks straight down to your feet and the mind goes down a rabbit hole of thoughts and emotions on why you weren't good enough.
My wife of 12 years had an affair and tore my family apart. I lost everything. I hit the darkest place of my life, and I can tell you at one point I didn't think I'd make it. But my kids were my rock. They helped me more than they'll ever know. Anyways, I'm now a year and a half out of that. I done a lot of self-healing and focused on me, and if I can tell you one thing, it's that the way someone treats you is a reflection on him and not you. You were always good enough. They just weren't good enough for you. Much love, my friend. Edit. Thank you for all the support. Sending love to all of you going through a similar situation. Just remember to take time for yourself and heal at your own pace. I started exercising and boxing and lost over 20 kilograms. See post history for before and after. This was the best thing I done and helped me slowly to start to become me again. But as we all know, the biggest battle is in our heads. It's okay to not be okay. Listen to your body, grieve, heal and move forward one step at a time. If you start to overthink, then fill your time with something you enjoy. Mine was cooking. Make sure to surround yourself with positive people who support and lift you up, because we're all products of our surroundings. My DMs are open if anyone wants to chat or is looking for advice. Stay strong and much love. You've got this.
Not being able to open up to the ones you love.
Watching someone you care about mess up their life. All you can do is watch.
I tried so hard to help my younger brother with his alcoholism and I couldn't. It was a feeling of dread, desperation, hope. He was good at saying the right thing. It's hard to watch.
Watching your own child die in your arms.
I watched my daughter die in her mother's arms. I don't know your exact pain, friend, but I know the pain I felt. Love and condolences from me.
Realizing you're responsible for your own misery.
When someone you trusted betrays you.
Betrayal, when it hits, is like this cold feeling in your muscles but a burning in your heart and a brick in your gut.
Telling someone about something that happened in the past and realizing that that wasn't normal. Edit. I'm so sorry to everyone replying heart.
Nothing like telling a funny story and having your friends respond, "We're so sorry, we're here if you ever need to talk."
Grimace. Yeah. That's how I started to realize that something wasn't right.
We need to talk, and then when you text back right away, they don't text for hours.
No, you're gonna tell me right now or I'm gonna throw up.
Shame.
Very similarly, legitimate regret.
Tooth pain. Edit. Wow, thank you to all who replied. When I posted this comment yesterday, I just came home from getting 3 of my last 7 teeth pulled. All the stories and comments make me feel like I'm not alone in this right now, so thank you everyone.
Currently have an obsessed tooth. The worst.
Loneliness.
Burnout.
The grief from the death of a loved. Lost the love of my life after her 5-year battle with ovarian cancer. We were happily married 31 years. It was like someone had cut open my chest and ripped my heart out.
Semi-related, seeing the decline of a loved one. In my case, it would be my parents. I can't speak for anyone else, but for me this is the single most depressing thing in life. Your parents are never old until they suddenly are. They fall down and get injured. They don't have the energy to go up the stairs in their own home. They can't cook your favorite dish on your birthday. Suddenly it hits you, they're elderly and you've been treating them like they're still the dark-haired workhorses from your childhood. You finally take a moment to think back and you see the signs of their deteriorating health. A stumble here. A fainting spell there. A cut or bruise that takes forever to heal. But it was no big deal because your parents have always been strong. They've never slowed down for anything. You look across the table at the suddenly frail woman sitting in front of you, squinting at her crossword puzzle, and realize that you don't know how much more time you'll have together. It's then that you truly gain an appreciation for all your parents have done for you and what they will continue to do for you. You resolve to return the favor in what little time remains, not knowing that just by breathing you'd paid that debt long ago.
A combination of monotony, boredom, insecurity, and anger, along with the need to get out of bed every morning because you have things you need to do.
When you suddenly cannot breathe properly and your heart beats hard in your chest from the pain of knowing you can never see or talk to someone ever again. Edit. I'm so sorry to those who understand this pain and for your losses.
And then you forget for a while and it hits you again like it's all new. I'm so sorry you're going through that. Sending you love and comfort through the ether.
Not feel image valued.
Anxiety, depression.
Seeing dad cry.
When your pet dies.
I'm days away from 60 and every day I think of all the cats I've had since I was 11 years old. I miss all of them.
When you want someone or are in love with some but they don't feel the same way towards you. Edit. Wow. Wasn't expecting for so many people to experience the same thing. Thanks for the feedback.
Or when you both love each other but your morals don't align and one or both of you keep compromising yourselves to stay together.
Thank you for watching. We upload new videos every day, so be sure to come back for more fun. Please consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed the video.